Yo, what's good? What's good? It's your boy, the one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast. We back. This is episode 116. We got our second guest officially on the podcast. We're going to do hip-hop talk today. We're going to skip past the sports and all that. Before we bring in my guest, don't forget this podcast is sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. If you need online marketing promotions for your product, your brand, or your service, please check out promopalace.biz. You see us scrolling down below. Get marketing promotions at promopalace.biz. We're going to plug in our other sponsor real quick, New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. If you're a dog lover, you're a cat lover, you're an animal lover, if you're an animal rights activist, then you need to check out newlitter.com. We got t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts with dogs and cats on them, and we got some with business slogans too. And last but not least, for shizzle, do you dizzle, I dizzle. I got dizzle in my cup right now. As you see, this is the Paul Pickett Podcast mug cup. You know how we do. And we about to bring my man in right now, Mr. Jones. This is how we do.
Wow. Oh, snap. This is real.
What's good, Jones? Welcome to the Paul Pickett Podcast. Yours truly with the one and only Paul Pickett. We call this place a.k.a. Triple P, a.k.a. the Common Sense Podcast. Your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and more. But today we're going to do the Hip Hop 101 special. My man, Mr. Jones. What's good, Jones?
ELP, I just got to say this. For anybody that's been tuning in to you, for anybody that does business with you, man, you're a great brother, man. You're a great brother.
Appreciate that.
I remember, we go back to the trailer park.
Leisure living days, man.
Indeed.
Leisure living. Musical Court, Lyric Lane. They don't know about that.
Indeed. And it's not there no more.
They took my street sign too, man. I'm mad about that.
But you know what? But what remains is us. We remain. So I'm proud of what you're doing. I'm proud to be here, man.
So what are you drinking on over there?
Oh, I got the Ying Yang.
Okay. Cheers. We got the dizzle over here in the cup.
You know what?
On ice.
I'm gonna try to dizzle. So
we're gonna have a bottle for you.
But I got the Ying Yang, Texas.
Okay.
But let's get into it, man.
So Jones, why don't you tell our listeners who or what got you into hip hop? I mean, you started loving hip hop before you started rapping, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, who or what got you into hip hop?
Damn, that's a great question. I heard Public Enemy.
Okay.
I heard Boogie Down Productions.
Okay.
And they made me want to rap.
What were you listening to before those artists?
Nobody really. Oh, no. Hold up. I was listening to my parents' music.
Okay.
So I was listening to Lakeside. I was listening to the Isley Brothers.
I'm not familiar with Lakeside, but Isley Brothers, we know.
I was listening to the Temptations. I was listening to my parents' music.
Okay.
And then one day, I heard Run DMC out of nowhere.
Is that who really like you would credit for really like probably making you love hip hop?
Yeah. Like Run DMC did it, man. I mean, and, before Run DMC, I heard Grandmaster Flash in the Furious 5. But when I heard Run DMC, it was like
You were sold.
Yeah, I started trying to do it myself. I was like, I want to rhyme now. I want to do this, and then after Run DMC, that's when I heard Boogie Down Productions. That's when I heard Public Enemy, and it was like amazing to me, man. It's like if I think about it hard enough, I might drop tears. It was that great. It was that great, man.
Yeah, for me, it was like I didn't really listen to my mom's music at first because she was an Elvis guy and I was a Michael Jackson guy. And
Okay,
then
but you
Prince.
still have both. You have
Yeah, I
both.
was really into Michael Jackson and Prince because of Thriller and the
You know
Prince
what?
movie. What was the Prince movie? Purple Rain.
You know what? I was trying to answer your question as you asked it, but now I'm thinking about things that was in between. Like, sheesh. I remember when the video for Bad,
Yeah, yeah.
it was premiered on Entertainment Tonight. And so, my dad's in the army and he's somewhere, but it's like my mom and my mom's friend, they at the house and we watching Entertainment Tonight. And I'm a kid. I'm just running around, just doing kid shit. But man, when Entertainment Tonight said we're about to premiere the video for Michael Jackson Bad, man, I was right there in front of the TV. I was right there.
I mean, for me, he was it. He was it. Michael Jackson and then Prince is the number two. Because when I was in Panama, the only hip hop I really heard was LL Cool J, and it was kind of like you said, you heard Grandmaster Flash, and it really didn't win you over right away.
No,
when I heard Heavy D and the Boys, We Got Our Own Thing on like Pop Top 40 radio, it was that it was just something different than anything I was listening to, which rock and roll at the time. And Heavy D really won it over for me. He brought me into the hip hop world.
Man, P, I can honestly say that I don't know if my mom and dad were into hip hop, but I can honestly say that I was in the car with my mom and that same song came on. We Got Our Own Thing. And my mom loved it. And I loved it. It's like we bonded. You know what I mean? It's like she's already my mother and I love her. But it's like, man, she heard that. She was like, we got our own thing. That Heavy D is the first that's the first live show that I went to in my life.
Do we agree we needed artists like Heavy D that were really super clean artists to help bring these like non-hip hop fans into the hip hop world?
I don't know about super clean.
I mean, he was. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't. Yeah. He was never shoot 'em up, bang bang, and sell drugs. He was a very positive rapper.
Yeah,
to a sense.
He was
It was just really rhyming and dancing, man. It was just really nothing really negative about Heavy D too much.
He was a positive brother, Heavy D was,
and I guess that's why I should say positive. More of these positive rappers to kind of bring other non-hip hop fans into the hip hop world. Because maybe everybody couldn't relate to just the street music or the gangster rap or whatever.
You know what's crazy is we relate to everything. We relate to streets. We relate to drugs.
But at that age, I couldn't relate to streets. So there's no way. I don't think street artist was really gonna help me really cross over from listening to Def Leppard and Motley Crue one day to straight. I mean, I left Def Leppard and Motley Crue behind and all that, Guns N' Roses, and went straight hip hop.
You know what? But when you dropped them off, I picked them up.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. This shit is pretty good.
Well, I wasn't really listening to those cats because it was like they had maybe one good song and I bought the album. But hip hop was really when I started liking whole albums, the whole body of work. Like I would be like, whoa, like it wasn't just a single. You get to the album and be like, whoa, even the album is great. But most of the rock joints, it was like they had the single, I get to the album, and I wasn't really a fanatic, a fan. Like I think about how I'm a fanatic now of certain artists.
I think you bring up you brought up a great subject. Just because you like a single, it doesn't mean that you're gonna like the album. It just happens like that. Sometimes people have a real good song, But
now let me ask you this.
You don't like the rest of the shit though.
Is it harder for you to become a fanatic of an artist if you only like the single and you don't like the album? If you only really like one song out of the whole body of work, does it make it harder to become a fanatic? Wouldn't you say?
I think it's still there, but you just.
I mean, you could be a fanatic of that song, maybe, but.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But as the artist, would you really be a fanatic of that artist based off of one song? I think it makes things harder. Like, I think you really got to have that body of work to become a full fanatic.
I'll put it like this. Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. I love It Takes Two.
Best number one hit, like one hit wonder of all time to me.
But when you get to the album,
it's not. Yeah. So you're really a fanatic of that song, but you're not really a fanatic of Rob Bass per se.
But I still love Rob Bass.
Yeah, no, you still got love for him because you love that song. But
after
you're not necessarily buying the shirt, the hat, and the album.
So on the album they had It Takes Two.
It Takes Two.
Number one single. And then they did the other song. Takes Two to Make the Thing Go Right. Oh, then they had Joy and Pain. But after those two songs, it's like you finally get the album. It's like it wasn't like when I heard Boogie Down Productions, I was like, oh, I like this song, Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. You know what I'm saying? DJ Ice is down with us, man. But when I picked up the album,
it was probably even better records on the album than that, right?
The album.
That makes you even more a fanatic and more loving of the artist when you even get even better records.
When I heard Eric B and Rakim, I heard I Ain't No Joke. But then I bought the album. And I was like, oh shit. They got a whole lot more.
Would you say he's probably one of the top guys of being the closest to rhyming perfection?
You talking about Rakim?
Rakim.
You know what? Due to the COVID era, Rakim and Eric B. Eric B and Rakim is one of the last shows that I saw, before COVID. And that shit was great. It was great, man. Like, Rakim is Rakim.
He was way before his time, right?
He's advanced. He's really advanced.
He was more advanced than anybody really around that time, would you say?
You know what? I mean, KRS-One.
Maybe KRS-One, okay.
KRS-One, Chuck D.
Cool G Rap, maybe?
Cool G Rap.
Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, they're all good.
But it's not a ton of guys, right? It's just like a handful of guys that's really like.
But Rakim is different. He's different. Like, KRS-One is my favorite. Chuck D is my favorite. But man, I'd be a damn fool to say that, Rakim ain't hitting on nothing. No, Rakim is different. Rakim is just, I came through the door. I said it before. Like, this dude was talking shit in what, 87, 86, 86, 87, 88, and it still stands. It still stands. I came through the door. I said it before. It's Rakim is different, man. He's I got my list in my head, but Rakim might be the best, man. I don't know. Rakim might be the best. This is what you all sit down to write. You might take it home, break it down and write. using pieces and bits of all my hip hop hits. Add some more to yours. Like, man, this dude, man, like, why you
He had
rhyming
no
like
flaws,
this?
right? He really had no flaws, right?
And it's 1987, Paul. Like, why you rhyming like this? Why you doing, man? Cass yesterday was like, yes, y'all. We rhyme, y'all. It's Mr. Jones and Paul, y'all. And we going to kick the rhyme. Do it all night. Everybody put your hands up. All right. And this dude come out like, like just killing it, man. You know,
So he was like the Michael Jordan of his time then, right? What'd you say?
yes. Yeah, you know what? I never thought about it like that, but I'm sorry I'm yelling, man. I need to calm down.
Nah, you good. You good. You good.
But Rakim, you know, I never thought about it like that, but Rakim is Jordan. He's Jordan. Rakim is the dude that was like dunking like this.
So is Nas like LeBron?
With an angle. He was like, ah.
Does that make like Nas like LeBron?
Man, no, you know what? Nas could be LeBron, but Nas is Kobe.
He's Kobe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. I like that. Nas is Kobe. Yeah.
Nas.
No, you're right. Because we always compare Nas to Rakim, like he was baby Rakim.
Yeah.
But he was just Nas, and he was really kind of the Jordan like of his era. I mean, he was way before his time, right? And what, 94?
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because, you know, people are going to be compared to people until the end of time. But man, Kobe ruled the 90s, man. Kobe ruled the 90s. And he ruled the 2000s.
And that's Nas, right? I mean, Nas ruled the 90s.
Nas ruled. Yo, I remember I was going back to high school once again, man. Class of 94. My senior year, man. You know what? My sophomore year, 93. Late 93. And I heard halftime. That's what happened. I heard halftime. Man, halftime is, oh, that shit is so great, man. I can't believe that me and Nas are almost the same age. Like, I wanted to rap like that. But
how old is Nas?
I'm 45, so Nas got to be like 46, 47.
Okay.
But man, I heard halftime off the Zebrahead soundtrack, and I was like, "Yo!" And then after halftime, that's when it ain't hard to tell.
You said Zebrahead soundtrack. What is that? A movie?
Yeah, Zebrahead.
I don't know that I've seen that one.
Yeah, Zebrahead. Zebrahead is a movie.
So that's when you first heard Nas.
Yeah, that's when I first heard Nas.
I first heard Nas on the Live at the Barbecue.
Okay. Yeah. Large Professor.
Large Pro. Yeah.
Oh, what's the name of the group? Damn, I feel bad.
Main Source.
Thank you. But man, I heard that cat on the Zebrahead soundtrack. I was like, man, this dude is, you know, some people just got it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I respect you as an MC.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. No, no doubt, man. I respect you as an MC. You're great. But man, I heard Nas on that Zebrahead soundtrack, and I was like, man, I was trying to bite that shit. I was trying to do that shit too. I'm like, all right. You know, and then you know, it's like that. You know, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Since I take the mic back, you know, he was just Nas just got something about himself, man. It's just even from day one, from 93, 94, it then he dropped the album. My favorite Nas song is Represent. That's my favorite song.
Okay.
because he's on a
That all time. That's your favorite song all time, or just for that album?
my favorite song for that album. But if I gotta think about it,
For me, it's Rewind.
oh wow, that's later. That's
It's just. I think it's the most complex song I've ever heard in my entire life. Where he raps the story backwards. Jungle rolls it, puts the weed back in the gar. The weed goes back in the jar. I mean, it was just so crazy. It's like, I just think about how long would he have to take. I mean, he had to do the Joyner Lucas approach to that, where he had to come up with the story first. He had to script out the story, and then you had to write the rhyme based around the story, because that's how Joyner Lucas would do his videos. He'd come up with the script, like, this is what the video is going to be about, like this storyline. And then I'm going to write the music based around the story, like the Will video, which I still think to this day is probably the most innovative, creative, and what's the other word I'm looking for?
You already said innovative.
But I forgot the word. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it's one of the greatest videos I've ever seen. You know, it just really is, because he always scripts everything and then he writes it. That's how Nas had to do Rewind. He had to come up with his story.
Well,
she walks in, say, "Ooh, me kiss, put a bra back on the tits, bob the head, spit a nut back of my dick." It was like, whoa.
Everything is going.
Everything's
back.
In reverse, and you sitting there trying to. And I seen a music video this guy made. It's unofficial, but this guy made a music video to it, and it just gives you a better perception of like how great this song is. You know, like and how complex it is.
You know what's wild is that when we talk about hip hop, we gotta talk about New York. Always. There's no talking about hip hop and not talking about New York. New York is the Mecca. And man, when I heard that Nas song, it made me think about Organized Confusion. Organized Confusion, man, they did a song already about the gun. But Organized Confusion has Queens, they have Queens ties as well. One of the on Pharoah Monch's first album, he has a song called Queens. But I'm looking for the song right now. But I mean, Queens, you know what? Hip hop is just I appreciate it, man. Hip hop is the reason I got friends that are white, friends that are Puerto Rican, friends that are Panamanian, friends that are from the Congo. It's ridiculous. And we're all friends because we enjoy hearing some good fucking rhymes and some good fucking beats. But my bad, man. Sorry if I'm drifting.
No, you're good. Now, tell me this. Am I crazy for having Mobb Deep Infamous as my number one album of all time?
No, you're not. That's actually an album that took me time. I had to take time. Like, it took me like 4 or 5 years. And I know some people gonna hate on me. They're gonna be like, but no,
what do you mean took you time?
My friends were into it, but I was just into something else. And then when I listened to the album, it's like I recognize Havoc's power as a producer.
Thanks to Large Professor.
That's what I'm saying. Queens, New York, man, these motherfuckers are crazy. And I recognize P as a lyricist. Like, he don't pull no punches. He don't try to do anything that he don't do the shit that you want him to say. He's going to say what he got to say. If it works, it works.
Well, he was literally the best rapper in the game when he dropped that Alchemist album, wasn't he?
Well, before that,
HNIC, when he would drop HNIC, he was the best dude in the game that year, right?
Was that Alchemist?
Yeah.
Oh, I never checked the credits. Man, when that HNIC came out, I mean, I threw a TV at you crazy. I'm like, yo, like this dude is like, like, yo, this is an MC right here. He ain't no group member. He's not the way I was seeing it, because I was seeing it different. Like, two dudes rapping. That's how I was looking at it. I wasn't no fan. And then it's like everything started sinking in, man. Like Shook Ones sank in. I'm old enough. I was at the club, and Shook Ones is a club jam.
They had one of the best club albums ever for hood music.
Boy, man.
Like, you could play that shit from beginning to end in the club, and it's like...
Yeah.
And that's the thing for a cat that wasn't super grimy and super hood. I don't know why I've been attracted to that, but Mobb Deep is just... I just felt like the production was perfect. Every beat went with every single beat, even the Q-Tip beats, the other producers producing. Everything went so perfect.
If you're talking about a record, an album that came straight from Queens, they even had production from Q-Tip. Like,
word for word, hooks, the beats, temperatures rising. I mean, I just loved it, man. I felt like there was no flaw in that album whatsoever. I feel like there's no flaw in the album. And we're going to do it first time on this podcast. Fire in the hole. Joe Rogan does it. I'm doing it.
Oh, snap. Hold on. I might just join you.
Joe Rogan does it. I'm doing it. Yes, the podcast is still going to YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, all that. Of course, you ain't going to be able to see me smoking on Spotify, or Apple, but it's all good. You can see me on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and Instagram smoking while we got Mr. Jones on the Paul Pickett podcast, the Hip Hop 101 Talk.
If anybody got time, man, holla at your uncle. Spotify.
Holla at your uncle. Check out Holla at your uncle. Where's Holla at your uncle at? Let us know. Where can we listen?
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, or just go to Google and type in Holla at your uncle. And
you see that? Follow on Spotify below. We just popped it up. Holla at your uncle.
Thank you.
Follow on Apple Music.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Holla at your uncle. Check him out. That's Holla at your uncle. HOLLA at uncle, right?
Your uncle. Yeah, indeed.
It's not HOLLER, just so y'all know. It's HOLLA. Holla at your uncle.
It's not holler. It's holla.
It's not holla. It's holla.
Gotcha.
Holla, holla. Like Ja Rule said, holla, holla. Let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about that real quick.
Hold on. Can I get 1 second? Let me get 1 second.
Go ahead.
I'm a bounce, but I'm gonna come right back. Just all right.
It's good. We're gonna plug in real quick. Mr. Jones will be right back. Don't forget the audio version of our podcast goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Slacker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and much more. Don't forget this podcast is sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. If you need online marketing promotions for your music, your product, your brand, and your service, please check out promopalace.biz. If you're a dog lover, you're a cat lover, animal rights activist, even if you hate dogs and cats, take your butt to New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. Check us out. We got t-shirts and hoodies. We got some that ain't dog and cat based with, slogans and sayings like work smarter, not harder, don't watch us work, money never sleeps, Paul Masson Golden Age t-shirt, and much more. Last but not least, let me throw up a flyer. I got to shout out DizzleBrand.com. It's what I got in my cup right now with some V8 Splash. Dizzle Brand, just add ice. Step into the future. Do you dizzle? I dizzle for sure on the Paul Pickett podcast. Cheers.
Indeed.
So Jones is back.
All right, man.
Ja Rule, man. Like, have you ever seen anything like this before where a cat literally runs radio for a whole year
Um,
and a cat comes in
right.
and takes one swing at him and knocks his career out the box?
That did happen. That did happen. Um, Here's my thing. I've never been a Ja Rule fan. I've never bought an album.
Okay.
I never.
Me neither.
Man, he's came to Fayetteville. He's came to Raleigh. He's been to Green. He's been all over North Carolina. And
I prefer early Ja Rule, like when he was with Blunt Recordings and the little harder stuff.
I just never been a fan.
Yeah.
But,
Well, you know, Mike Geronimo kind of brought him out.
Man,
and along with DMX and Jay-Z at the same time, pretty much on the same song.
Mike Geronimo, man, that's another conversation. But you know, Master IC is still one of my favorite songs ever.
But I mean, like, this cat's whole fan base literally turned on him. I mean, you dominated radio for a year, top 10 radio hit, like all year long, song after song after song.
But check this out. I'm not a fan. I never had one of his albums. I never bought one of them. But he still is here. Man, anywhere Ja Rule goes to, people are going to show up. It's going to happen.
But why do you think people sided with 50 so much? Because it wasn't like Ja Rule was a punk.
Because 50 is, compared to Ja Rule, in my opinion, 50 is a better MC. He's a better rapper.
Okay.
You know, and he makes, we all know, we know Curtis. Curtis makes things pop.
Shout out to Curtis.
Clickety clank, clickety clank. The money goes into my piggy bank. And like 50 Cent got some shit with him, man. Like he do some real MC shit. Ja Rule is different. Ja Rule got hits for a lifetime, man. It's a rap. He's good. You know, Ja Rule can pop up with Jennifer Lopez at any time. That's amazing. Even though I'm not a fan of his music, I don't care for his albums. But that shit
is 50 Cent one of the most controversial rappers? Is he like, would you say him and Pac are probably two of the most controversial rappers ever? Because he came into this game with that How to Rob an Industry N-word song.
Yeah, he
did. How to Rob an Industry N-word song. And he was talking about cats out the gate, man. I mean, he was a holding back out the gate.
Man, this cat, 50 Cent came out on a mixtape talking about stealing rings from RZA. I'm like, what? You don't touch nobody from Wu-Tang.
Yeah, Wu-Tang was like, the crew you didn't really mess with. Yeah. And they still probably aren't.
Man, cats are friends. You know, and that's the biggest thing about life. I wasn't trying to do this, but man, look, man, people got beef. People say, you know, hey, I don't like him for some certain reason. I don't like him for some certain reason. But man, when you get down to the real nitty-gritty of life, you gotta make peace. And that's what happens. Now, as far as Ja Rule and 50, I don't know. You know?
I mean, didn't KRS-One almost kind of do PM? Who was he battled?
Man, he didn't even battle him, man.
Who was it that he came up on stage and tried to called out back in the days?
It was PM Dawn.
And he kind of killed his career, right?
He didn't kinda nothing. He
crushed it.
He pushed the dude off stage.
He did. That's what I didn't know that's what happened.
Yeah.
But PM Dawn never really popped after that, right?
No. PM Dawn was still good.
I thought so. I thought he had a little.
They were still good, man.
A tad little run.
And the jury is still out on this, you know.
So we ain't really seen nobody kill a career like this before.
No, never, man. Never, man.
And it might not happen ever again, right?
No, I can't say that. It might. It depends on who wants to go after somebody, and do you have enough juice? You know, it's like so you brought up KRS-One and PM Dawn. Man, PM Dawn was peaceful, but PM Dawn said something in an interview, and KRS-One didn't like it. And
what did he say?
I really don't know, man. I'd have to look it up. I can look it up right now. But KRS-One didn't like it, and PM Dawn was in New York. Boogie Down Productions is from New York, and they there, and they kicked that brother off the stage. And it's crazy. Ja Rule. I like to call artists by their real name. So Jeffrey was in New York, and Curtis was in New York, and Curtis was like, "Yeah, I'm going to fuck with this motherfucker. I'm gonna do it." You know, it's wild, man. And it's like, and it's crazy because I rhyme too. You rhyme. You know, we done battle people. People done, people will find you at the gas station, the grocery store. They'll find you. They'll just see you. They'll be like, "Oh, there he go. Let's get it in." But man, to the level that these cats did it is wild, man.
Let me ask you this, something that people always wonder about. How relevant will Pac or Big be today? And who do you think would have, do you think Pac would have been more pushing to the acting and Big would have still been the one really dominating on the music tip more?
Oh, that's damn, Paul. That's a great question.
Because a lot of people always just act like Pac and Big would just be able to make it in this day and age, but there's not a lot of artists from their time that are really relevant nowadays on a mainstream scale.
In my opinion, they would be dominant.
Both of them?
Yeah, both
Musically?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think one would be more dominant than the other? I have my opinions on that.
I mean, well, somebody's going to be number one. Somebody's going to be number two.
I have my opinions that Biggie would have been able to fit more with the times because he was already willing to do more commercial stuff anyways.
But when it comes to Pac, and unpopular opinion that I got to say, it's unpopular, but I wasn't a Tupac fan.
Okay.
But then I heard.
And anything have to do with this choice of production sometimes? Because Pac wasn't the greatest.
No. It was.
Of always putting the hottest beats on the albums all the time.
For me, it was his subject matter.
His subject matter.
Man, why you gotta talk about this shit all the time?
Like what? Specific? Like what? Like just the struggle and shit?
He always talking about dying.
Dying. Okay. Yeah. Death around the corner. I'm
thinking about living. He like, I mean, he got a song.
And as young as he was too, it's like.
Yeah, man. Man, he had a song called "If I Die Tonight." And I love that
Death
song.
Around the Corner and all this stuff. Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think he really knew that how controversial he was? It might have was.
No.
Because I heard Charles Barkley say something today about him retiring from, because Charles Barkley retired from the TNT, and he said, "I'm closer to death than I am to life." And made me think, like, damn, I'm 42 years old. I'm almost at that halfway point where I could feel like I know where Charles Barkley's coming from. Do you think Tupac felt that way early in life because of
that's
the controversy and whatnot?
That's what I'm saying, Paul. Man,
he felt like he was closer to death than life?
I mean, depending on how you're living.
I mean, but all due respect, look at Biggie's album, Ready to Die.
But check out Biggie's
Ready
last
to Die.
album. His last album was called what?
Life After Death.
Yes.
But
yes.
do we know that was going to be the title before he died though? Or do we know that the title
Man,
after he died that way?
His last
That's the thing. We don't know that he actually had it titled that before he died though.
His last interview was with Joe Claire on Rap City.
And he said he was going to title it Life After Death.
And he said, and he was happy. Man, I never seen Big smile so much. He was talking about his daughters. He was talking about his kids. He wanted to live. And it didn't happen that way. And you know what, man, just since you brought it up, I know we didn't answer the question that you asked a few minutes ago, but man, when Big got murdered, I cried. I was like, wow. That was my first time. Like, I never thought about rappers that I listened to dying.
So you wasn't a fan of KRS when Skylar Rock died?
And
it didn't really impact you then, though, really.
Yeah,
you really think about it?
I was 5-6 years old.
Because he was like, okay, because he was like the first rapper. When you actually look at when Skylar Rock died to when like Tupac and Biggie died, it was only like a handful of cats. Then after that, it's accelerated, and these deaths in hip hop accelerated like crazy.
When I heard Boogie Down Productions' first album, Scott LaRock had already passed or got murdered. So I was just a kid. I wasn't fully invested yet.
Okay, yeah, I get that. No, you was too young. And Biggie was old enough. For me, I know this is gonna sound crazy.
Biggie and Pac, I was old enough, man. I was like, Pac is dead? Damn. And then it was like, I remember my sister told me. I was looking at TV, and my sister, she came from the hallway, and she was like, Biggie is dead. I'm like, what are you talking about? Nah, Biggie ain't dead. And I turned to MTV, Channel 31 at the time. And it was like,
I know this ain't got nothing to do with hip hop, but I think in my lifetime, there's one person's death that really kind of stuck with me a little bit more than most, and that was Kobe Bryant. And what was crazy about it is he was my least favorite basketball player of all time when he was alive. He really was.
What?
Yeah, I felt like he was very selfish and didn't make people around him better. And I really, but when the reason it impacted me was Kobe's we're like months apart in age, man. And I thought about all that he achieved and accomplished in the NBA. And then what he was going to do afterwards. Like he already won he won like an Emmy or an Oscar for his little thing, right? So I was sitting there thinking about all he accomplished. And then I realized I haven't accomplished shit. I haven't really accomplished shit in life, because this guy's gone, the way he died, all that he fucking accomplished, and how much more he was going to accomplish. And I was like, damn, I really haven't accomplished shit, man. And Kobe's death really impacted me. And now I've grown to love him a lot more and respect him a lot more. And anything I felt about him when he was in the league, I just like, screw it, because Kobe was a great dude, man. He was a great dude.
I can't believe you brought this up, and I can't believe how much it touches me. It was so good to see Kobe at the Lakers game, and he's sitting there with his daughter. That's the Kobe I remember. It's not. I mean, this dude done put up. Man, he done did all the points. He did it all. Man, he killed the NBA. He killed him.
Yeah.
Kobe is a great player. He is one of the greatest to ever jump on the court. But those last 3-4 years, and they be like, there's Kobe Bryant with his daughter watching the game. I'm like, man, look at Kobe being a dad. Look at Kobe being a husband. You know, Kobe made mistakes. He made mistakes.
Even though I do have my.
But he made his mistake. Man, we all make mistakes, man. I promise you, man. I don't want nobody to air me out. Please don't do it. You know? Please.
While we on basketball, let me ask you this, man.
All right, cool.
What's your opinion about Charlotte Hornets and LaMelo Ball, man? Well, I mean, do we got something here, man? Do we got a guy that could possibly win us a championship if we put the right pieces around him? Have you ever been this excited about Charlotte? When's the last time you've been this excited about Charlotte Hornets basketball? I really want to go out the limb and say it was Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, and Muggsy Bogues, and Del Curry.
That's what I'm saying, man. Don't take my words. The last time I've been this excited was Larry Johnson,
Alonzo Mourning, Muggsy at point, Del Curry, and whoever else we had.
And I'm gonna be honest. I've been mad at Michael Jordan. I'm like, Mike, what you doing? What are you doing? Like,
Adam Morrison.
The Charlotte Hornets have had some of the best players in the game, and then they get traded. And I'm just sitting here at the crib like, man, you traded him? You sent him over there? And guess what? Every player that gets traded, they end up in the playoffs with another team. I'm like, Mike, what are you doing? Mike, what are you doing? Man, look, man. Piece to the ball, family.
Let me ask you this. I know Larry Johnson was the number one pick. But is LaMelo the biggest pick we've ever had in our history of the Charlotte Hornets? Not just counting like wins and losses, impact on the court, man. I mean, this kid is a superstar, yo.
Man,
he's a superstar, yo. He got the car matches the outfit, yo. I mean, what the hell?
As far as, first of all, as far as the number in the draft pick,
he was like number 3.
Thumbs up. Now the production is out.
Did you think he was going to be this good?
I did not think he was going to be the leader of the team. He is number 1. Like, there's other teams out there that want him. So I hope Michael Jordan, the CEO, man, do right by this kid, man.
I'm gonna tell you how I knew he was gonna be special.
Put a team around him. Put a team around him, man.
Let me tell you how I knew he was gonna be special. I saw some footage overseas, right? When he was in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
His passing was like shit you don't see. He was doing things you don't just see.
He doing shit like this, like.
Yeah, he was just, the passing was amazing, right? And it wasn't so much the scoring. I was just the passing. And then he grew to 6'7". And I was like, whoa, this is going to be dangerous. And his dad was right, man. I mean, we got to give LeVar. We got to give LeVar Ball props, man. We got to shout out LeVar Ball on the Paul Pickett podcast right now.
Look, Pops was talking and talking. Yeah, my boys. Yeah, my boys. Shut up, Dad. Shut up.
Yeah, we could get mad as hell, right? We like, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
And he was right, though. He was right. I mean, because Lonzo look at Chicago Bulls this year.
Man, Lonzo was a true baller, man.
True baller. He's humble. He's a pass-first guy.
He's not no
take over the game score guy. Yeah.
He's not no good baller at the local gym. He's not no good baller at the local basketball court around the corner. No, Lonzo was good.
Now, check this out. Like, Lonzo got drafted over De'Aaron Fox, right? And there was people saying De'Aaron Fox should have got picked over Lonzo. Right now, though, what does that look like based on what De'Aaron Fox is doing for the Kings and what Lonzo and the Bulls are doing? It looks like sometimes people they want to rush the situation. They're not patient enough with the process.
You know what? I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Dad for being confident in his sons. I'm not mad at.
Do we need more dads like that?
Indeed.
Is he like just a rarity? I mean, have you seen another Lonzo Ball like that?
No.
Do we need more dads? I mean, we need more dads to come out and hype their sons up super heavy like that, right? Or even their son, even if they got one son, just hype them up like he said he was the next Steph Curry, the next like this guy said he put all three of our boys on the team and they'll win a championship.
This cat had his children's back. He's like, no, my sons are the dopest. And guess what? 2 of them are right there in the league. It is hard.
The other one he might could still make it because he's a shooter. He's a shooter. He might could still make it.
I'm not even talking about that.
Yeah.
But it's hard to get into the league.
No, it is.
You got to be real good just to sit on the bench. You got to be good. And then you get to, you really on the court, you really starting. Oh, shit. You know, it's real shit. It's real.
So this is our opportunity right now. Like we really got in the next few years, we have to really make all the perfect moves, the perfect decisions. We got to draft right. We got to make our trades right. I mean,
man, look, man, I do not want the younger Ball to leave Charlotte, man.
You know he's not going to stay if we don't bring a winner.
We can get the ring, Paul.
I think we can, man.
We can be in downtown Charlotte celebrating. I know it. I see it. Like, yo, like this dude is good. He's good.
And you know what's crazy? A lot of people were like, Anthony Edwards should have got Rookie of the Year last year because Melo got hurt. But when you really look at Anthony Edwards has got Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell, and they're in the same position as the Hornets. I mean, like, what are we talking about here? LaMelo has got Terry Rozier and young Miles Bridges and not a lot around him. But this other guy's got Karl Anthony Towns. Anthony Edwards is good, man, but we got to pump the brakes on how much how good he is compared to LaMelo when it comes to the win and loss column.
Man, I got to say this. LaMelo was special. He could be in Charlotte. He can be in Portland. He can be in Utah. He's still going to be.
He's going wherever he goes. He's going to do what he does.
And I'm glad it's here. I'm so glad it's here.
And I want to apologize to LaMelo Ball right now. I should have bought my LaMelo Ball jersey. I deeply apologize. I'm truly sorry. I'm going to get it, but this week I got to get me a LaMelo Ball jersey. I got to show true support as a true fanatic of LaMelo Ball, man. I'm a LaMelo Ball fanatic now, man. I mean, like, I've never been as excited for Charlotte Hornets basketball.
I don't know how other people feel, but it feels so good to have Charlotte, to have North Carolina, man. We in the mix.
We're relevant. Yeah. We're relevant. We're much-watched much-watched TV, man. You got Melo doing alley-oops through the leg to
this
Bridges.
Dude is doing pass. He's like, to you. Bomb. You know, he just, and then somebody catches it and dunks. I'm like, oh, snap. That's what y'all doing? All right. You know, I'm not so mad at Michael Jordan no more.
We're gonna switch back to a little bit of hip hop. I want to ask you. We're gonna get into these top 2. I know you ain't got all day, but we get to these top duos of all time in hip hop. I'm gonna list some names, man. I just want you to tell me some names that you kind of just throw up on the top up there. We got Outkast.
Duos? You talking about duos?
Duos, yeah. We got Outkast, Mobb Deep. And they got some duos that are actually rapper DJ duos. We're gonna throw those into Eric B. and Rakim, Method Man, Redman, Gangstar, EPMD, Black Star, Run the Jewels, Clips. I can see how smooth.
Okay,
that's the top 10 right now on this ranking list. Would you agree with this list, or was anything you would change? Who would you say, like, would you put Outkast as the number 1 duo?
Yes.
And why would you say that?
Because
and I agree.
Because and because of the time that we're dealing with. This is real time right now.
They were dope, right? They could spit.
Big Boy, Andre, production from Organized Noise. Sheesh.
And their sounds changed, right? Every time, like the first album, they were quick to reinvent themselves. Like they had the playlistic music.
My only, I would actually put Outkast number 2.
Okay.
Because Run DMC.
Okay.
Just because Run DMC.
So you count them as a duo. That's funny because when they were on the trio list, I counted them as a duo too. I counted them as a duo too on the trio list.
But they got Jam Master Jay.
But I didn't count him in because he didn't rap. That's the thing. That's how I was looking at it.
Right. Okay. So duo.
But I can agree with that. I could kind of go with that. They were kind of a duo to me because, it was all about the rappers, man. It wasn't never really always about the DJs, man. It was about the MCs, man. The that was always the face of the groups, man.
The DJ is important though. Like
it is.
Jam Master Jay was really the character of Run DMC. Even with it's not a trio, but DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
But Jeff held it down. Jeff was controlling the beats.
First to start doing transforming, let's start it out there.
Paul, you know about that? You know about that.
Yeah, hip hop historian, baby. First to start doing transforming. Just throw that out there for your hip hop heads.
Incredible.
So I mean, it's definitely a big part of hip hop because you're the first to do something.
But let's go back to your question. A trio.
Well, we was on duos.
Oh, duos. Okay.
Like P-Rock, CL Smooth, Clips, Run the Jewels, Black Star, EPMD, Gangstar, Method Man, Redman, Eric B. and Rakim, Mobb Deep, Outkast. So you got Run DMC.
So historically, it's almost DOS Effects. It's almost EPMD. No, EPMD. That's
for me. Out of this list I'm looking at, even though Mobb Deep is like my number one album of all time, if I have to say my best duo out of all these cats right here, I gotta go with Gangstar.
You know what?
I gotta go with Gangstar.
I'm going with you.
There's a lot of people. I know there's some people, friends of mine, that weren't big on Guru because they didn't feel like he was.
No. Guru is one of the dopest MCs of all time, man.
Like, this is the thing. Guru made a great point about
it's
music.
A long way to go when you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going when you're lost.
It's mostly the voice that gets you up. It's mostly the voice that makes you buck. A lot of rapper got flav and some got skills, but if you ain't got the voice, then you need to chill. Yeah. If you ain't got a dope voice, man, what are we talking about here, man? You sound like shit. So, he had a great voice. He had dope lyrics.
Like Gangstar over EPMD? Like, that's crazy. It don't sound right. It sounds right, but it don't sound right.
It's tough. I mean, like,
man, EPMD is, man, Eric Sermon and Paris Smith, they're the illest, man. They're the illest.
But I feel like their best album was when they got back together.
No.
Back in business.
You know what's crazy about that? Is that they weren't fucking with each other for a while. And they
apparently
still got back with each
one
other.
robbed the other. Apparently one robbed the other.
Man, that's none of our business.
Well, we gotta throw it out there just so people know.
All of our business is their first 4 albums, which is incredible. They did You Got to Chill. And then they came back with damn, what's the name of the song?
I was late to the EPMD party. I didn't really find out about them till crossover.
Man, that's a great time to find out about them.
ready to rock. Ready to read.
Yeah.
Let's get up, let's get down. Roll with the hardcore funk, the hardcore sound. Let's get with this macadocious funk material. So deadly. Scratch. I mean, like, that's what and as soon as I heard the song, I was like, oh, gotta run to the flea market, go to the bootleg guy. See, they got the cassette. Sorry, EPMD. I didn't know no better. I was a kid.
Nah, man. EPMD.
And it wasn't like there was a tape store close by for me to walk to.
EPMD is everything.
I can't tell MOP I buy bootlegs, though. They big baseball bats up on me.
I'm trying
to think. Much love to MOP. Shouts out. But yeah, man.
I'm trying to think of the second single. Oh, shit. That shit. That, man. Come on, Jones.
Do you think? I honestly think Clips is way too high.
You know what?
On this list, they got Clips over Pete Rock and CL Smooth, and I couldn't do that any day of the week.
Well, depending on where you were born, you might choose the Clips over Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
I don't know, man. Pete Rock and CL Smooth had two of the best debut singles I've ever heard of any artist in my entire life.
You know, one of my favorite songs is "Straighten It Out." I love that song.
That was even better than the first one. That's what was crazy. That never happened back then. You had trouble. They reminisce over you, my God. And that shit was.
I love that. I love that song. Yeah. But Straighten It Out.
Straighten It Out. Oh yeah, the beat was so dope. I mean, it was doper than the first, and that never happened back then.
And
it was always the first single was the best, not the second.
And then check this out. You have a evolution of hip hop with the producer, the DJ doing their own thing. It's like now you got Pete Rock doing a remix for Public Enemy. Now you got Pete Rock doing a remix for House of Pain. It's like, yo, like, yeah, he really is dope. He really is.
No, Pete Rock was
really dope.
I mean, he did the album with Smith & Wesson, and it sounded like a Smith & Wesson album, yo.
Right.
It really did. Like, that's the thing about Pete Rock. He's not like Premier. You can't really just listen to a Pete Rock beat and automatically like, oh, that's Pete Rock.
Pete Rock did his own album and had multiple artists on there.
Oh yeah, what was it? The Soul Survivors? Was that what it's called?
Yeah, Soul Survivors.
He had crazy features on that shit.
He had everybody from Inspector Deck.
And it was like some of the randomest features you could think of, man.
And they was with it. They was like, oh yeah.
That's what was great about cats like Pete Rock, Tony Touch, DJ Clue. They would throw these random features together that wasn't necessarily going to happen on their own. Dudes that wasn't necessarily going to reach out to each other. But Tony Touch, like, I want this cat on a song, and he was making it happen.
Yeah.
Or Sway and Tech.
Yo.
When they had the Eminem, the RZA, the Tech Nine, Exhibit, Chino XL, and KRS One. I want to say KRS One was on that too.
Now you're talking about like Stretch and Bobbito. Stretch and Bobbito, they had everybody too. You know, they had Wu-Tang, they had Hieroglyphics. They had the West Coast locked down. Sheesh, man, look.
We are hour into this Paul Pickett podcast. I know Jones got some things to do. We ain't gonna keep him up all the time.
Man, I want to say this.
What was your take on the Super Bowl? Super Bowl, man. First time having a whole hip hop show in the Super Bowl. What was your take? Did you like the show?
What are you talking about?
The Super Bowl show. What was your take on the halftime show? You didn't see it?
Man, I saw the whole thing.
You didn't like it?
I loved it.
I loved it too.
I loved it.
Was it long overdue?
Yeah.
I thought so too.
Yeah, it was long overdue because Dr. Dre has a lot. Man, Dr. Dre is forever. So he's in every decade. He's in every year.
Yeah.
But Dr. Dre locked down the fucking 90s. locked it down. Like he was there in the 80s and he was making it happen. NWA and all that shit. But the 90s, man, they should have been had Dre there.
He produced all the biggest albums in hip hop for the 90s.
Man, Paul, it wasn't even just hip hop albums. It was R&B. Man, this dude got #1 songs with Mary J. Blige. And everybody knows it. You know, Mary J.
Do you know the first rapper to rap at the Super Bowl?
No, I don't.
It's Nelly. And all due respect, Nelly sold 10 million. He sold 10 million.
No. I'm about to close off my camera, man.
He sold 10 million, right? On the first album. But they mixed them in with pop. And then you had like Nicki Minaj and you had Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott should have been before either one of them, I thought. Definitely before Nicki Minaj. So that was the only hip hop artist you've ever had is Nicki Minaj, Missy Elliott, and Nelly. So this is the first all hip hop show.
Hold on. Nelly rocked the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he was the first rapper in the Super Bowl. It was him and a couple pop artists, though, I think.
I'm not a Nelly fan, man.
I'm not either, but we have to admit that Nelly.
No, because I hear where you're going. I'm not going to bow down. I'm not going to kiss the ring. But I'm just.
He had one of the best debuts ever.
He did. Man, he
sold 10 million on the first album. I mean, I didn't know it at the time. I didn't realize how big he was at the time. But yeah, I think it was long overdue. I loved the show. I didn't even notice Eminem kneeled when he kneeled. So when people made a big deal about it, I didn't even notice it.
It wasn't a big deal to me. I was like, God damn, Eminem is at the Super Bowl rapping. How far, because as a person that raps, it's like, how far do you get with rapping? This shit is incredible.
Well, he should have been on there, right? Long time ago, right? Eminem?
But you're dealing with companies. You're dealing with corporations. So, you're dealing with what they're thinking about. Man, I was like, man, Dr. Dre? I'm like, Mary J. Blige? I'm like, yo.
And the 50 Cent come in and we didn't know about it.
And I didn't know 50 was going. I didn't know
nobody knew.
Be there. And then,
and Kendrick. We forgot about Kendrick.
Kendrick did so great.
Yes.
So great.
Great. Love Kendrick Lamar.
He did so great. Especially, I don't think nobody seen that brother in 2 years? And this is what he come outside to do? Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. But seeing Marshall doing one of his, this song is not gonna die. This song is in the future already. This song is in the year 3050 already.
And you know why I think they picked the perfect group? It's because of Snoop. Who don't like Snoop, man? Who don't like Uncle Snoop, man? Everybody love Uncle Snoop. White folks love Uncle Snoop, man. Stop it. Martha Stewart love Uncle Snoop, man. Stop it, man.
He be on TV with Martha.
Yeah, who don't love Snoop,
5 days
man?
out the week.
Screw if he's up there crip walking and whatnot. Everybody loves Snoop, man.
That's right.
This is my thing, man. I know they ain't gonna do hip hop for a while again, but just one more year, just let the Wu-Tang Clan do next year, and then we ain't gotta have hip hop for a while. We'll be all right. Just let the Wu-Tang Clan do next year, and it would be amazing, man. Wouldn't you go crazy at that? That'd be big as hell, right?
Oh, you know what? Check this out, Paul. I was looking at Eminem perform, and then my wife was like, "Is that Anderson .Paak on the drums?"
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I was like, "Oh shit!" Right there. Yeah.
Apparently, he works with Dr. Dre though.
Anderson .Paak is from California. He's I forget what part.
He's one of my favorite musicians out right now.
He's from Oxnard.
He's the man, yo. He is the man. Him and Bruno Mars #1 music group on the planet.
Me and Shan, we went to go see J. Cole in Charlotte, and Anderson .Paak was the opening act, man. I was like, who was this dude singing, rapping, and playing the drums? And my wife was like, that's Anderson .Paak. Like, what? That's him? Sheesh. Doing everything. This dude know how to do everything, man.
He's one of a kind right now, man.
One of a kind.
Like, you don't see... That's the thing, man. Like, let's talk about this, the state of the music business and hip-hop in general right now. Okay. Like, you don't see too many talented artists, even in the hip-hop world, like Anderson .Paak right now. Mm-mm. I mean, do you think this sound is going... How long you think this sound is going to stay?
It's going to change because the nature of the industry.
Is it going to change back or forward to something else, do you think?
That's a tough question because you can look at people like you can look at people like Anderson. You can look at people like man. I mean, to this day, one of my favorite artists is D'Angelo. So okay. I can see things moving forward with like the funk and soul, but man, what's making money right now is I'm gonna remain them, I'm gonna remain, wanna know them, I've been on them. You know, it's like that's where they at right now.
Do you blame? Let me ask you this: do you blame the high price, like overcharging for samples, as part of the reason why these dudes are coming out with all these basic beats nowadays? Because, man, if you try to go get a sample from somebody nowadays, I mean, they're trying to charge you an arm, a leg, a kidney, and a liver. Sometimes, man. It's like it makes no sense for you to pay for sample music and pay for it when it's so expensive.
But I'm not there. I'm not there. But I believe that if you sample and you do a business transaction to sample, I don't think it's that hard. I look at the other side, like it's so easy, man. It's like catching, like, I want a Ram, I want the Lambo, got the Lambo, then I got the Lambo. My girl named should you mean the Rambo? You know, it's like, nah, man. I'm like, I think cats are being lazy, man. Cats are being lazy. You can sample, you can you can produce a beat sounding like something without sampling, but you still got to give credit. So I think cats are being lazy, man. That's my
opinion. Dudes ain't just accepting credit no more, because even a cat like French Montana explained he had to pay $500,000 to clear a sample, and the label wouldn't kick in no money. It's like nobody does that. Nobody pays that much money to clear a sample. And he knew it was a hit. He knew it was a hit, so he paid.
And you know what? I believe that. I believe that.
Like, that's a lot of money to clear a sample. $500,000.
But it's crazy. It's like if I'm from a rap group in 1994, and anybody in 2022 wants to sample and pay me, what's the fucking problem? You know?
The problem is they get greedy. And then the person says, well, damn, I can't afford a sample, so I ain't gonna sample you. And that's why you got all these Fruity Loop basic beats going on, because nobody uses samples because they're too expensive.
So then what happens on the back end from the cats that really wanted that sample, but you said no? So what are they going to do?
Just go to a different beat.
I'm in a man, I live in a mansion. I'm in a mansion. I'm in a mansion. Like, goddamn. If I hear, man, it's wild, man. I hear cats doing the same song every fucking day. It's wild. It's like, do you know why? Do you know why Lil Wayne is #1?
Why?
because he don't make songs like these other motherfuckers. He don't do it. These cats are like, I live in a mansion. I'm in a mansion. And Lil Wayne just come out. He just like, boom, man, the bell, boom, man, the mail, boom, man, the field, someone ring the bell, pick up the phone, man, I'm on the phone, man, I'm in the zone. And it's like, yeah, go get it, Wayne.
Let me ask you this. Do you blame any specific artist for other artists like doing stuff like that?
I would never blame an artist.
So you wouldn't like you don't think some artists just made it like this is how I always felt like when a cat like Soulja Boy came out. So any and everybody probably thought they could rap. And no disrespect to Soulja Boy because he's a genius. He's a smart young dude.
Yeah.
But his rhyming ability was really even terrible back then. And when you hear dudes like hearing that, it's like any and everybody thinks they can almost do it because it lowers the standards of how good you really got to be. Because that's the thing. Talent doesn't dictate this industry like the 90s. In the 90s, it was always looking for the next new DOS effects, or Lords of Underground, new original sound, somebody with some unique voice, spit bars, talent. Nowadays, it's not that.
It's interesting. It's real interesting.
Jones stepped off for a second. He's coming back. Let me go ahead and plug in some sponsors. Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com and dizzlebrand.com. And there goes Jones. He's back.
Yeah, man. Give me a job, man. Jeez. I hate my 9 to 5. But
I mean, you don't think like dudes might think it's so easier nowadays when you hear some simple cats come out and anybody could think they could do it?
You know, man, it's real in my area. When I think about it, it's complex. You know, it's like you really can't blame the artist for trying to make money. Okay. And so in my head, I look at the industry. I look at the cats that are paying the money.
But a cat like Soulja Boy made it without the industry.
He came up with his own style.
And he used deceptive marketing, they said. Like you would go and it'd be like Eminem featuring Busta Rhymes and it's a Soulja Boy track.
I mean, I like hearing cats that be like, you know, super lyrical, criminal. That's what I like. But this dude came out, he was like, Superman that hoe. And people was like, yeah.
Now, do you honestly believe that the radio made it a hit? Like people, you know, when people try to say the radio plays it so much that it automatically becomes a hit, but he blew up on the internet. So
I'll give that 50%.
Yeah, like when you blow up on the internet, it's kind of hard to say that the radio just you playing it all the time made it the hit.
I'll give it 50%.
Because people had to react. People had to react when you blow up online.
But the other side is you got to be the one that makes that shit. So, you know.
And it was a dance record too. All due respect, dance records are always usually hits. Like actual dances.
I mean, check it out. You know, like me, I'm on the lyrical miracle. We kick rhymes all day. We kick rhymes all day. That's where I'm at. But this dude, man, he did some shit that motherfuckers love that shit. They love it. And what am I going to do?
I look at Soulja Boy in the same sense as I do Cupid. Man, you remember Cupid? Cupid Shuffle?
Man.
It was really the same thing. It was just a dance record. You know, when you come up with a dance record and a new dance, you can have a very potential hit record, man.
Yeah.
Come on, let's do the Jones. Everybody do the Jones. You know, like when we come up with the dance and we do the song, there's a potential that it can become a hit just because of the dance.
Just because of the beat. Man, yo, check this out. You know, I'm sure I'm not telling nobody anything new, but that cat, what's his name? Vic?
Who?
VIC? He got the Wobble song.
Oh, okay.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby. All right, man. This shit's trash. But guess what? Man, every 30 and up club I go to.
No,
Every house party I go to, they are doing the wobble, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby.
Can we agree that part of the 90s?
Yeah, we in there. Yeah. Like, oh God, like, this is what we doing tonight.
Can we agree there's way more dancing than there was in the 90s nowadays, and that's always been a part of hip hop? The dance aspect?
Dance is always a part of hip hop. Dance is always a part. I just don't appreciate all the parts of it.
I get that. But like when I see like the baby do the bop record and he's got these dances in there and he's got the Jabberwockies.
Yo, yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is what hip hop has been missing and rap music has been missing.
I'm gonna tell you, my favorite video from last year is Run the Jewels.
Who was in that list I named, the top 10 duos?
Oh, wow, you did do that. But my favorite video, my favorite song from last year is Run the Jewels, and it's featuring Greg Nice. And that video was so beautiful, man. It's like, it's cats dancing and shit. They doing moves that I can't do. But they rhyming so good, and they got Greg Nice. You know, it's like...
I'm glad you brought this up, this Run the Jewels. Because
right.
This is where I'm about to go with this.
Where you about to go, my brother? Where you going?
Doesn't more old school artists or 90s era artists need to follow the lead of a Run the Jewels and be like, you know, because they're like, think about it.
That's the name of
LP came out with a group called Company Flow, who I was not super big on, but they had a very unorthodox sound.
I was big on them.
A very unorthodox sound. And I know there was a lot of people big on them because their sound was way different. They probably changed the game.
Guess what?
They probably changed the game because they sound.
They never went platinum. They never went gold.
It was Fun Crusher Plus or something like that. Was
that's the first album. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Now you take a LP who was from a different stratosphere.
Compared to us, he's from up top.
And then you get a Killer Mike who comes out with T.I. and Bone Crusher. I ain't never scared. A crunk South rapper with
Killer Mike won the Grammy.
Up North cat.
And
they form a group together and it reboosts and rejuvenates both of their careers.
Mm-hmm. When they said Killer Mike and LP are forming the group, it was like
the most oddball thing you ever heard.
I was like, yeah.
It was like an oddball thing you ever heard. Most oddball thing you ever heard. Killer Mike and LP.
I was like, yeah, do that shit. They can do it. I know they can do it. And not only did they do it,
they created a diehard fan base doing it.
Wow.
And rejuvenated both of their careers. And reinvented both of their careers. Because I think more old schoolers need to follow that path. Like, certain this solo artist need to try to team up with this solo artist and put an album out.
Does it have to be old school or just...
How about less relevant artists? Less relevant artists.
I got you.
You know, you had Cool G Rap do an album with Necro. You know, you need to see more things like that.
Yeah.
Most
definitely.
Like, let me give you an example. Let's see.
One of my favorite albums from last year is Pete Rock and Camp Low.
Okay. See, that's another stuff like that.
Yeah,
like the Pete Rock and
at Tiffany's. Yeah.
Like what we're seeing now, the Pete Rock, or we just seen the Havoc and Styles P. You need to see more of those things.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We need to see more of those things, and these cats just teaming up together because they got to realize when they're just on their own, their fan base is only but so big at this point.
But I think the same thing for younger artists. For cats that are 17, 18, 20, 25.
No, we can say that with young artists too. Yeah, like Chris Brown did an album with Joyner Lucas.
Chris Brown, I'm not a real big Chris Brown supporter, but
for Joyner Lucas, that's a big deal. And I know Chris Brown wanted to do an album with me. I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
I can tell from interviews, one of Chris Brown's mentors is Tank.
Okay.
And Tank is older than Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Tank is like probably damn near my age. But, when he fucks with Chris, he's like, yeah, sing this or do this like this. It's like Jermaine Dupri. Usher dropped two of his biggest albums working with Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri is older than him.
Yeah.
Big brother. And, it's just amazing how things go.
Like, I'm gonna just throw some off the wall shit out there. Like, if you just hear like, see an Exhibit dropping an album, what are you thinking?
That should be crazy.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You hear like Inspector Deck and like, let's see. Let me see
an Exhibit. Like, goddamn, I'll go to work early for that.
Like shit. You hear Inspector Deck and Fat Joe dropping an album. I mean, like, you get what I'm saying? Like these cats that just some off the wall shit.
It's like one of my favorite duos right now. Shit, one of my favorite duos is Czarface. And Czarface is esoteric. It's Esoteric from Boston and Inspector Deck, and they call themselves Czarface. They even got a song with DMC on it. Like they did a whole album with Doom on it. Like, but it's like man, shit. A dude from Boston, a dude from, I don't know, New York, Staten Island, do a whole album together, and y'all decide to feature MF Doom.
I just thought of another one. Real oddball when I first heard of it. Elder Sensei and Sadat X. Remember they did an album together. I love Elder Sensei.
I love Sadat X.
How is this gonna work?
It's
like this shit
work.
Don't even this is really oddball, but that's what we need to see more of. Like, but these cats, because I mean, a lot of these cats, they didn't capitalize. This is what I don't get. I dealt with a lot of these old schoolers during the MySpace days. They were there for the beginning of the internet wave, and a lot of them didn't capitalize. Man, they just.
They
I don't know what it was, if they just didn't see what it was going to be and didn't take it serious enough. But I remember hitting up Diamond D on MySpace and Sadat X's and Rampages, and they had the time to capitalize like a lot of these young cats, man. That's why I think they just need to work together more on a lot of random projects and stuff.
Man, you know what, Paul? It's like I think about it with me on my end. It's like, I didn't know this, I didn't know this internet stuff would be life. I didn't know.
Nobody knew that.
I didn't see it like that. So when people you need to get on this page, you need to do this. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, I know every phone number I need to call. I know where I need to go. I don't need no GPS. I didn't expect this shit to take over life.
I feel what you're saying. I didn't expect that either, but this is the thing I started to realize when I first was on MySpace, and you send a message to Diamond D and he replies with a number. I realized this was some other shit. This shit was some other shit. And this was actually shrinking the world down more and more each day. The internet is such a small world. Like, anybody who does anything, makes any kind of money on the internet, knows everybody. everybody knows everybody on the internet. There's like everybody's popping, knows everybody's popping. Everybody making money knows everybody making money. And they're like freaking 10 cities over, 4 states over, 3. I mean, it shrinks it down so much. I mean, when I got Sadat X calling the house, you know, I got Diamond D replying with just a number. Like, I realized this was a different thing than everything I ever tried to do with music. You know,
I had to adapt. I had to adapt. But you were already, you were on it. You were on it like 4 or 5 years ago. Me, I was like, man, I ain't gotta do this.
Actually, 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
All right,
that's the MySpace days.
Yeah. That's when I jumped on. You know, my cousins, my second cousins, my cousins' children, they was like, you ain't got MySpace? I'm like, what's MySpace? I was like, oh shit. Like, we online? Like, oh, you know, throw some music up there, meet some people. Like, wow, I didn't know this was going on. So there's still there's still some learning going on.
There's always going to be learning on the internet because it's always changing and adapting. Like, there was just MySpace. We wasn't thinking about Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram and everything else.
No, hell no.
It was just MySpace, just that. And then after that, MySpace started fumbling out. You got Twitter popping up, Facebook, all these other platforms, and then it became where you can't just focus on just MySpace no more. You got to focus across the board at all of them, which was crazy. Really, really crazy. You know, because you can't, like, when it was just MySpace, it was easier because it was just MySpace.
Yeah, I mean, that was my first time, you know.
And you would literally hit up old school artists on MySpace and they would reply. But once you got a Twitter and a Facebook and an Instagram, they had to start paying people to damn keep track of them shits for them, man, because they couldn't. You can't keep track of them yourself. You can't read every post and follow back every person and comment, follow, you know, reply to every comment, every like. It's just too much, man. You know. But yeah, I don't. But I still don't think that's any excuse though, because
no.
They were there from day one. All the old schoolers were there just as much as the young cats who are capitalizing like crazy, man. And I think some of these old cats just think maybe the internet is just some kiddie stuff sometimes, you know, and they just don't understand the digital world is just really
depending on where you come from in life, you're going to see it like that. You know, it's like, man, what? You know, all I need to do is call somebody on the phone.
Yeah.
No, like
10 years ago, we couldn't do this interview with this split screen on this video right now like we're doing, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be able to put all these designs up. I wouldn't be able to put myself right here, my logo, all this stuff 10 years ago. We didn't, none of this was, you know, and 10 years later, it's just.
That's wild, man. When I first met you, it was phone number and address. That's what it was.
Now people don't even really talk on the phone. They just text.
And if you go to see somebody, you put it into the GPS. You know, like my favorite app out here in Raleigh is Waze. I love Waze.
All right, well, we're about 1:30 in this, man. I got to pee, man, so we're going to cut this podcast short.
Holla
Mr. Jones, you got anything you want to shout out? What you got, the shirt on there, the Holla Ya Uncle shirt?
Yeah, I got that. Hold up.
Can they buy that anywhere?
Oh, I got the, of course.
Where can they buy these shirts at?
You can get the shirt at Holla Ya Uncle at the website. Or,
is that hollayauncle.com?
Yeah, no, Spotify, not yet. We're working on that.
Okay.
But Spotify, Apple Music, and Instagram is the best place to get.
Okay, so y'all only Spotify and Apple Music right now and Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay, when we get off here, I'm going to definitely send you the audio booms. We got to get you on Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Slacker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and much more like the Paul Pickett Podcast, man.
I appreciate it. And I'm sorry my T-shirt is looking a little tight. But
it's all good, man. We getting older and we getting bigger, man. I'm getting a gut, too. Like, I ain't skinny. I ain't no skinny mini over here myself, man. You know, the Dizzle shirt, you can get this on DizzleBrand.com, of course.
No, I'm trying to get the real Dizzle.
We got the Dizzle hats. We're gonna have a bottle for you once you come into town, man. You know, you come back to the Vietnam, man.
I'm coming back home soon.
Come back home. Be a true Vietnamese. Be a true Vietnamese and come back home to Vietnam and show some love.
We are Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, man.
But I just want to let anybody that's watching, man.
You got you want to follow you on Twitter, Facebook, or anything specific?
Nah. They don't have to do that. Just
what's your Instagram again?
Holla at your uncle.
Just holla at your uncle. So Instagram.com/holla at your uncle.
Yes. Spotify, Apple Music, and Instagram.
And what y'all talking about on there? Like what kind of topics?
We do the same thing that we just did right now.
Y'all talk a lot of music and hip hop?
Yeah. Man, we playing original beats. I got the Adobe Audition up now. So it's like everything is original. So if you got beats, you know, send it.
Are y'all playing? Oh, so y'all playing beats from other people, or just beats that one of y'all made?
No, beats from other people.
So people are sending y'all in original beats to play on your podcast.
Correct.
So y'all might want to email me.
Correct.
And I can send something out to my customers and my clients about how to email beats to y'all or whatnot. Do you got an email address you want to shout out on the podcast?
You know what? I'm kind of scared of this, but sonofwest.jj.
All right, send them your beats to sonofwest.jj@gmail.com.
Gmail.com.
And if they like the beats, they'll hit you back and they'll possibly play it on the Holla at Your Uncle playlist. Podcast.
We'll play it in the background, man. And
okay. So y'all just play it in the background and y'all just talk over it, basically.
Okay. Yeah, we want stuff to talk over, but we want everything to be original. You know, everything original. Because I know how it is. I mean, I'm living it. I don't want to do my 9 to 5 every day. I don't. So if you got some good music, you got some good beats, you got some good rhymes, let's get this shit in, man. Because I'm not trying to do my 9 to 5 every day. That shit is trash.
And we definitely gonna start having more guests on here. Mr. Jones is allowed back anytime he wants to.
Hey, yo, I met Paul Masson in the trailer park. Y'all
These
can't.
Are living days. Y'all don't know nothing about that.
Believe the story. Man, y'all won't believe the story. The story is great. My brother, he really pulled himself up. It's not on me to give you the details, but my brother pulled himself up, man. And I'm happy that this is my brother right here. Paul is official.
And all right, you heard it first. We better cut this short. I gotta go pee before I pee on myself.
Man, pee in the chair, man. You the boss.
All right. I want to thank Jones for tuning in. Jones, peace. We out.
Paul Pickett, PP.
Peace.
Peace.
Yo, what's good? What's good? Yo, it's your boy Triple P. We about to call it quits on this episode 116. No need to shout out the sponsors. You know who all the sponsors is. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Gotta go for I pee on myself. Peace, and I'm out.